It looks like it's going to be a great day for grass drag racing here at Twisting Trail Snowmobile Club in western Michigan in the town of Twin Lake. It's partly sunny, slight winds out of the southwest. 163 entries are set to battle for prizes and recognition across 4 lanes of grass track, and we have all the highlights. I'm Jim Siebert, the voice of grass drag racing on ESPN Ocho, and with me is color commentator Johnny Zoom Zoom Heller. Johnny, can you feel the excitement?
You bet. Is that what that is? I thought I sat on a rake. Yeah, this is a great day to be here, and I'm looking forward to these races. You know, snowmobiles, usually you think of snow, and we don't have any here today at all.
They tell me that 90% of these sleds are so modified that they will never be used in the traditional manner on snow. Powered conveyor belt that races across the grass. We'll be back at Twisted Trails after this. We're back at Twisting Trails, and time for the drivers' meeting.
And it's just making the problem worse, so I'm asking you to please not pound on the brakes
That one
after.
down here.
We open it up all the way down that hill. There's plenty of room to stop and turn around. And please look before you stop. Turn around. So nobody hits anybody if there's somebody still coming. That's all I got. I'm going to hand it to Ryan now.
Get your tether on. When you're running the sled, sit on the seat. I don't want to see people standing up. Just remember out here, if you cross the lane, hit the flag, you're done. Also, anything falls off your sled, that's going to be a DQ as well. We're not going to have anything under your skis out here. You're going to get 3 guys up there, set your sled, get it in your lane, and get ready to race. So 3 guys. Nothing leaves behind your sled, and we'll get through this day.
One more thing, can we have safety glasses behind the starting line, please? We don't want anybody getting hurt back there. And we're all about safety here, and Twisting Trails would like to present this to the Novotnys, because every time they're here, they hurt them damn selves. So.
You saw him hand off that first aid kit because there will be blood. Jim.
Well, here are some of the rules that the drivers have to follow. There's no driver changes allowed. That's an automatic disqualification. All sleds must pass tech before entering the pits. And the sleds have to have a working tether, so if the driver falls off, the thing won't keep going on its own. Unlimited Open can run any and all of the following mods: turbos, nitrous, non-OEM motors, etc. These things can get really souped up, and the vintage cutoff date is 1986. Full-length skis are also required. Well, now it's time for the first heat. These are stock 600s, Johnny.
Yeah, that 600 cc's are larger, and this should be an exciting first race.
In lane 1 from Jackson, Michigan, number D87 Jordan Moore on a ZRT 600. In lane 2, it's Kayla Gould of Muskegon, Michigan. She's the only girl wearing number 43, and she's riding a Ski-Doo. Lane 3, it's Cedar Spring, Michigan's Dylan Waters, wearing number 79. He's on an Arctic Cat. And in lane 4, from Adrian, Michigan, Nathan Shoemaker, number 821 on a Polaris.
And they're off, except for lane 2.
For some reason there, the number 43 sled with Kayla Gould did not get started. Now for the first heat in stock 600, the first place was Nathan Shoemaker of Adrian, Michigan. Second place in lane 3, Dylan Waters of Cedar Springs. And in third place, Jordan Moore of Jackson, Michigan. Well, now it's time for the Pro Stock 600. In lane 1, Zachary Shoemaker of Adrian, Michigan, wearing number 32. He's on a Ski-Doo. In lane 2, Steve Huguenot of Hanover, Michigan, wearing number 43. He's on a Ski-Doo. Lane 3 is Shelby, Michigan's Wyatt Furman, wearing number 45 in a ZRT. And in lane 4, number 331, Kyle Lesko of Gobles, Michigan. He's on a Polaris.
You know, each one of these teams has spent $35 to enter these laps. The machines, of course, the team cost is about $25,000 a year, and they can make as much as $50 if they win a race. So you do the math.
I think they must be in it for the excitement more than anything else.
Or just like dust. There's a lot of dust out there. Let's see who's going to eat their dust now. Here's the Christmas tree. Here we go.
Some people
And
would
we're
say
off.
they lost their marbles.
All 4 racers in this one. Boy, that's fast. These guys go 146 miles an hour or so.
Looks like the first place winner, Zachary Shoemaker in lane 2 on a Ski-Doo. In second place, it was Kyle Lesko of Gobles, Michigan. And third place for this race from Shelby, Michigan, Wyatt Furman, wearing number 45. And now it's time for lap 3, and these are the improved stock 800s, Johnny.
Yep, 800 cc's are greater. And now you'll see that they're getting rid of lots of marbles. They collect on the thing, and these are basically fast conveyor belts, these machines. And you don't want anything, you don't want any studs on the ground. You want studs on the snowmobile, but not on the track.
Well, in lane 1, it's going to be Dave Hall from Atlanta, Michigan. He's wearing number 09X on a Ski-Doo. In lane 2, Kyle Lesko is back from Gobles, Michigan, this time on a Polaris wearing number 77. In lane 3, it's number 510 from Lowell, Michigan, Eli Hawk on a Polaris. And in the 4th lane, wearing number 78 from Fruitport, Michigan, it's Alex Layton. He's on a Ski-Doo as well. You know, they tell me that they water the grass down quite often between laps to keep the dust down, but sure looks like there is it's a pretty dusty sport, it looks like.
Oh, indeed it is, and they've got equipment for it. They've got the masks for it. Now, I mentioned before, I think that it costs $35 to enter to run these laps, but it's about $25,000 spent by each team to get your machine ready to compete.
And I understand.
And you see how long the race is. It takes almost 3 or 4 seconds to get down the entire track. So when you do that mathematically, it works out to about $1.5 million a second, I think. I'm not a mathematician. I could be wrong. Matter of fact, I am wrong.
Well, it looks like they're just about getting ready to go here. The starter still hasn't walked out on the field. Not really sure what the delay is on this one. These laps usually go very quickly with here
it's coming out now, and the crowd is really anxious. You can see that they're leaning in a more aggressive manner than they were a moment ago.
They're almost all on their feet, as a matter.
Yeah. Nice laissez-faire attitude out here.
He's going to lift his arms and point to what's called the Christmas tree, which is odd because there's no snow on the ground.
Nor are there ornaments on the tree, but there are lights.
There are lights on the trees, and they will go from red to yellow to green. And then they have a very short amount of time. Hold your breath. Things are getting ready to go. And you can see the gravel and dirt and whatnot being spun up behind these things as they go by.
Now, you can't see at the end of the track, but there's nothing there. They fly into the ether.
In lap number 3 for Improved Stock 800, in first place it was Kyle Lesko of Gobles, Michigan. Second place from Fruitport, Michigan, it was Alex Layton on a Ski-Doo. And in third place in lap 3 from Atlanta, Michigan, it was Dave Hall on a Ski-Doo. Now let's roll on to the Stock 800s, lap 4.
This is almost exactly the same as the other laps we've seen, except these aren't the same machines. You may notice that piece of metal the big fella's holding there, that blocks those marbles from putting out eyes. Remember I mentioned earlier you don't want to lose an eye out there? That helps you. That's an eye saver, we call that.
You know, one of the experts we talked to called these races a high-speed family therapy session. Oh, let's take a look at Stock 8. In lane 1, it's Vince Opperman wearing number GNS from Lowell, Michigan on an Arctic Cat. In lane 2, wearing number 311, it's Rick Schell of Hopkins, Michigan on an Arctic Cat. In lane 3, it's from Buchanan, Michigan, it's Nick Murdoch wearing number 6 on a Polaris. And in lane 4, it's Taggart Haynes of Manchester, Michigan. He's wearing number 484, and he's sitting on an Arctic Cat.
You'll notice they sit forward as they begin, and then they'll sit back as they take off when the light hits green. This guy's getting really dusty. It's amazing he's wearing a yellow shirt.
I think that's so he stands out, so nobody runs over him.
Well, no one did this time. So far, he's 4 for 4.
We'll have the winners for you in Stock 800 right after this. Welcome back to Twisting Trails, and here's the winners in the last lap, the Stock 800. In first, it was Nick Murdoch of Buchanan, Michigan on a Polaris. In second place, it was Taggart Haynes of Manchester, Michigan on an Arctic Cat. And in third place, we had Rick Schell of Hopkins, Michigan, also on an Arctic Cat. Now let's move on to the Improved Stock 700 lap. This is the 5th race we're covering today. And in lane 1, we have Vince Opperman of Lowell, Michigan. He's in number GNS on an Arctic Cat. In lane 2, Tyler Fram of Erie, Pennsylvania on a Polaris. In lane 3, it's Ryan Hetrick of Oak Harbor on a Polaris. And in lane 4, it's Adrian, Michigan, Zachary Shoemaker wearing number 32. He's sitting on a Ski-Doo.
Right now, the stock races are pretty much just, machines right out of the shop almost, but these have been, for lack of a better word, tampered with to make them eligible for this race.
Well, I think they call it improved. They've improved on them.
As opposed to tampered. Maybe a better word, Jim. Good call. All right. Brian Lansky out there in the yellow. He's the event promoter. Well, if the other races weren't exciting enough for you, that one should have been.
I understand, Johnny, if they don't stop fast enough, what happens at the end of the race?
There's a fall off. It falls like 40 feet straight down. So they've got to slow up and go down. In some of the longer races in other places, they have a parachute at the end, like a James Bond movie.
The winner in your improved stock lap, first place was Tyler Fram of Erie, Pennsylvania. Second place, Ryan Hetrick of Oak Harbor. And in third place for this lap was Vince Opperman of Lowell, Michigan, sitting on an Arctic Cat. Now we're going to go off to the Trail Stock 600, race number 6. Sitting in lane 1 on an Arctic Cat is Dylan Waters, number 79, from Cedar Springs, Michigan. In lane 2 from Shelby, Michigan on a ZRT, it's number F5, Wyatt Furman. In lane 3 from Hesperia, Michigan on a Yamaha, it's number 74, Jens Bostrom. And in lane 4, number D87, Jordan Moore on a ZRT 600 from Jackson, Michigan.
All right, now you see that they're doing a pull motor here, kind of like a lawnmower. So they pull that cord and that'll start it. They put it's not regular gasoline, Jim. It's this hyped up fuel that costs like $100 a pail. So you start adding the cost together, and then it becomes a real extra for the team.
And I understand that in some cases, although they don't condone cheating, that there are some ways that you can really soup up that fuel. One of them includes putting mothballs into the gas tank.
That's right, as opposed to moths. That won't help at all.
They also all have to be weighed after the race. So once the race is over, they're weighed to make sure they don't go over or under a certain weight limit for each.
Exactly right. You can be disqualified if you break the limit. Say you're coming out of the race and you go to be weighed and someone throws you a big cinder brick. Well, that'll put you over the top and you'll be caught, disqualified, and you may lose your $35 fee.
Here at Twisting Trail Snowmobile Club in Western Michigan is one of 7 main competitions for this sport all across the U.S. and Canada. Oh, there they go.
Off. They're off and it's over.
It's a very quick event. A lot of sitting and waiting, and then boom, and then it's over.
Right. Pretty much like life.
Here's the winners for your Trail Stock 600. First place, Dylan Waters of Cedar Spring, Michigan on an Arctic Cat. Second place, Wyatt Furman of Shelby, Michigan on a ZRT. And in third place on a ZRT 600 from Jackson, Michigan, it was Jordan Moore. And now it's time for the big machines. These are Pro Stock 1000s, lap number 7 in today's broadcast.
Yeah, now we're getting to see the big boys of the snowmobile world. The snowmobile world that runs on grass and dirt, I mean.
Taking a look at the lineup for this one, the Pro Stock 1000 in lane 1, number 82, Denny Musso of Charlevoix, Michigan. Lane 2, wearing number 105J, it's Jake Novotny, also of Charlevoix. He's on a Ski-Doo. In lane 3, wearing number 105, it's Tim Novotny, also of Charlevoix, on a Ski-Doo. And over there in lane 4, wearing number 19 from Manton, Michigan, on a Yamaha, it's Eric Porter.
The Novotny boy is going to have a tough time against famous Denny Musso in this contest, I predict.
These are the big ones. These are going to push the maximum speed, which was what did they tell us, Johnny? Something like 140 something.
Yeah, 146 is a wonderful speed. I think the record is 196 or something like that.
Well, they are going twice freeway speed in 500 feet on grass.
There was boy, they move fast. You couldn't even see them. But the race is done. You're going to have to trust us on that. And there are winners. Who are they, Jim?
Your winners in Pro Stock 1000, Denny Musso in first place. Second place was Eric Porter of Manton, Michigan. And in third place, one of the Novotny boys, Tim from Charlevoix, third place on a Ski-Doo in the Pro Stock 1000. Now we're going to move over to the Pro Stock, little smaller machines, the 700s.
Now you see them getting in the way there on the left. That's where they go to. They pull over there and they get weighed.
After the race, they get weighed after the competition.
All right, let's take a look at these racers, Jim.
In lane number 1, it's going to be Zachary Shoemaker, wearing number 32 from Adrian, Michigan. He's on a Ski-Doo. In lane 2 from Oak Harbor, it's Ryan Hetrick in 597B on a Polaris. Steve Huguenot, number 43 from Hanover, Michigan, on a Ski-Doo, is in lane 3. And over there in the 4th lane, GNS on his uniform, Vince Opperman from Lowell, Michigan, on an Arctic Cat. These, again, are the Pro Stock 700s.
Mr. Lansky is ready to give him the okay. Christmas lights on. Should be up. A little break here, I think. These guys are pretty excited to begin their race. I'll tell you, there's a lot of adrenaline going on. And the crowd, again, is just electric.
The typical season for the snowmobile races is August through November. Each one of these events is a standalone. The biggest event, which is held on Labor Day weekend in North Branch, Minnesota, can draw upwards of 100,000 fans. That's a lot of folks.
It really is.
Here at Twisting Trail Snowmobile Club in Western Michigan is one of 7 main competitions for this sport all across the U.S. and Canada.
Look at that speed.
Just like that, the race is over, and in first place it was Ryan Hetrick of Oak Harbor on a Polaris. In second place it was Steve Huguenot of Hanover on a Ski-Doo. And in third place from Adrian, Michigan, Zachary Shoemaker on a Ski-Doo. Now we're off to the 9th lap today, which is the improved stock 850 and 900s.
You see, they're really doing a lot of work on the track. You've really got to make you really got to be very careful to get all the marbles up, because it can be dangerous. And as the day goes on, more and more grit and dirt shows up on the track. Obviously, these machines rip up the ground pretty well. Who's in this race, Jimmy?
In this race on lane 1, wearing number 77, Kyle Lesko's back from Gobles, Michigan. He's on a Polaris. In lane 2, it's Dave Hall of Atlanta, Michigan, on a Ski-Doo, wearing number 09X. Lane 3, it's number 510, Eli Hawk from Lovell, Michigan, on a Polaris. And Cale Gould from Muskegon, Michigan, in number 11 on a Ski-Doo, is in lane 4.
All right. They're about ready to go, it looks like to me.
Beautiful day today at Twisting Trails, 64 degrees, wind out of the southwest, slightly blowing.
Perfect day to rip up somebody's lawn, and these fellas are doing a good job of it. They water these things like 3-4 times during the week between the meets
To keep the
dust down and keep it. I don't know what's happening there.
They also, it looks like maybe one of them broke down there and is being pulled along back into the pits.
Yeah.
That's the pits. Well, Johnny, if you've ever wondered what Santa Claus does when he's in his off time.
Well, he is. He walks around with the red flag and a lucky strike and wanders around the track meets like these. How you doing, Santa?
I've been good.
I'm not sitting on that lap. All right, we're ready to go. The lights are on.
And the Christmas tree is lit.
Well, lane 4 got left behind.
These are the stock 850 900 improves, and first place in this race was Kyle Lesko of Gobles, Michigan, wearing number 77 on a Polaris. Second place, Dave Hall of Atlanta, Michigan, on a Ski-Doo. And in third place in the improved stock 850 900, Eli Hawk of Lowell, Michigan, on a Polaris. Now it's time for the Open Rung What You Brung race. This one is pretty exciting.
Yep, you can race whatever you got there. There's a guy at the Zamboni. I don't think that's going to win. But we've got some great racers here, Jim. Who's in which lane for us?
Well, in lane 1, it's Mike Carr of Ravenna, Michigan, in number 60. He's on an Arctic Cat. Lane 2, it's Denny Musso of Charlevoix, Michigan, number 82. In lane 3, it's Tim Novotnoy of Charlevoix, Michigan. He's on a Ski-Doo wearing number 105. And in lane 4, number 714, Jimmy McHugh of Sparta, Michigan. He's on a BOA ski.
All right. Mr. Lansky's ready. Racers are ready. We're ready.
Lit up.
And they're off. Wow. That's some amazing speed from these machines. Really an exciting race, Jim.
Well, and the first place today was Denny Musso of Charlevoix, Michigan, number 82. In second place in the Open Rung What You Brung is Jimmy McHugh on that BOA ski. And in third place on a Polaris from Ravenna, Michigan, it's Mike Carr wearing number 60. If you've ever wondered what goes on through the minds of one of these racers, our executive producer, Frank Mazzella, had a chance to talk to Zachary Shoemaker after today's races.
So tell us about today's victory, Zach.
Felt pretty good. We've been working on the sled for a while. Just put a brand new motor in it, so it's been running Ritz all day. Finally got it figured out. Went out there and brought home the victory.
So there you have it, an exciting day of sled racing, grass drag racing at Twisting Trail Snowmobile Club in Western Michigan. It was a beautiful day for racing and a lot of excitement.
I think it was a great day. Everybody had a fabulous time. And I want to make one correction. I've mentioned a number of times the record is 196 miles per hour. I double-checked it. It's 164 miles per hour.
That's
but I
still
believe when you're on a sled for 500 feet, that I'm not sure you notice the difference.
That is still really fast. So the contestants are going off now to have some adult beverages, and they're going to have their awards ceremony. It's a really nice ceremony. So on behalf of everyone here at Twisting Trail Snowmobile Club and the crew at Go Live Sportscast, this is Jim Siebert for Johnny Zoom Zoom Heller saying thank you for watching.
Bye, all.